Heartwarming surprise, Sydney McLaughlin Levrone's life transformed by husband's unbelievable gesture. The roar of the stadium had long faded, and the glittering medals from Tokyo's World Championships had found their places on the shelves of Sydney McLaughlin Levrone's home. To the public, her life seemed perfect, a superstar of track and field, Olympic gold medals gleaming, a loving husband, and adoring fans worldwide. But even champions, accustomed to chasing records, faced moments of exhaustion, pressure, and emotional fatigue. It was in one such moment, after an intense training camp and grueling international competitions, that her world was quietly transformed. The agent of that transformation, her husband, Andre Levrone, the ex-NFL star whose presence in her life had always been steady, supportive, and understated, orchestrated a gesture so profound it reminded Sydney that love, even amidst fame and accolades, remains the ultimate victory. The life of a champion, behind the medals. At 25, Sydney's career was nothing short of extraordinary. With world records in the 400-meter hurdles and multiple Olympic gold medals to her name, she had become a symbol of excellence, determination, and resilience. Yet the life of a champion comes with invisible weights, relentless schedules, intense public scrutiny, and the constant expectation to outperform not only rivals but also oneself. Her marriage to Andre had been a source of stability. Both understood the rigors of professional sports. Andre's NFL career had taught him discipline, patience, and the importance of mental toughness, lessons he carried into supporting Sydney through every challenge. Still, even the strongest support systems require reminders that love is as essential as training and medals. The gesture, setting the stage. The day began unremarkably. Sydney had returned from an overseas competition, exhausted, her body and mind yearning for rest. The house was quiet, save for the soft hum of rain tapping against the windows, an atmospheric backdrop that foreshadowed what was about to unfold. Unbeknownst to Sydney, Andre had been planning a surprise for weeks. Friends and family were quietly contacted, schedules adjusted, and a private celebration curated, all designed to remind Sydney that while she conquered tracks worldwide, she was equally celebrated at home. The arrival, a scene of emotion. Sydney entered her living room, expecting a typical evening. But the space was transformed. Photographs of her journey, from her teenage records to her Olympic podiums, adorned the walls. Her favorite music played softly. And there, in the center, stood Andre, holding an envelope with a golden seal. "Open it," he said, his calm voice betraying a hint of excitement. Inside was not just a letter, but a symbolic gesture that captured the essence of their partnership. A commitment to celebrate every triumph, to honor both personal and professional growth, and to cherish the quiet victories behind the public accolades. Reflections on love and support. For Sydney, the gesture was more than romantic. It was transformative. It reminded her that her achievements were not solitary triumphs but shared victories, built upon the encouragement, patience, and belief of her closest allies. Andre had created a moment that spoke louder than any medal, endorsement, or headline. The power of emotional support and partnership. In interviews later, Sydney reflected, it wasn't about extravagance or attention. It was about thoughtfulness, understanding, and the kind of love that lifts you up when you least expect it. That moment reminded me why I can give everything to my sport, because I have someone in my corner, always. The gesture's ripple effect. News of Andre's surprise, though initially private, eventually reached social media. Fans and fellow athletes lauded the sentiment, calling it a lesson in partnership and a reminder that love powers champions. Articles and posts celebrated the nuance of emotional support behind the glitz of international sports, a side of Sydney's life rarely seen by the public. But beyond accolades and public admiration, the gesture had a tangible impact on Sydney herself. Her confidence, already formidable, was reinforced. Her training regained renewed focus, and her performances in subsequent competitions reflected an athlete rejuvenated by the knowledge that her personal life offered a foundation as strong as her athletic prowess. Andre Levrone, the silent architect. Andre's own journey prepared him uniquely for this role. A former NFL star, he understood the pressures of elite sports, the scrutiny, the sacrifices, the highs and lows. But more importantly, he understood that victory is never only measured in statistics or medals. Emotional intelligence, empathy, and timing are equally critical in fostering sustained excellence. In orchestrating this surprise, Andre demonstrated a depth of understanding about Sydney that went beyond admiration for her speed or records. He recognized her humanity, her need for affirmation, and her resilience under pressure. And in doing so, he reminded the world that sometimes the greatest champions are the ones who nurture greatness in others. The human side of champions. Sydney's career is studded with world records, but her story, enriched by moments like Andre's gesture, reminds fans of the human side of elite athletes. Behind every headline and highlight reel exists a person with emotional needs, relationships, and moments of vulnerability. The gesture reinforced a crucial lesson. Athletic excellence does not diminish the need for emotional nourishment. Indeed, it can amplify it. And for Sydney, this reminder was not only heartwarming but empowering. The aftermath, life transformed. In the weeks following the surprise, Sydney described a shift in perspective. The moment with Andre rekindled her gratitude, not only for their marriage but for the journey they had embarked upon together. It instilled a renewed sense of purpose, reminding her that victories are sweetest when shared, and that love can be as transformative as training or talent. Her subsequent races reflected this balance. Each stride seemed infused with joy and determination, her focus sharpened not just by ambition but by emotional equilibrium. Fans noted a visible glow in her demeanor, a reflection of the personal fulfillment she had experienced. Lessons from the gesture. Partnership strengthens performance. Andre's thoughtful act reminded Sydney that emotional support is as critical as physical conditioning. Champions excel when their personal lives reinforce their professional pursuits. Celebrating quiet victories. The gesture emphasized that recognition does not have to be public or extravagant. A small, meaningful action can rejuvenate spirit and perspective. Love as motivation. Beyond medals and accolades, personal fulfillment fuels performance. Sydney's journey illustrates how private acts of love can catalyze professional excellence. A bond beyond athletics. Sydney and Andre's relationship exemplifies a rare balance, two high-profile athletes maintaining personal intimacy while navigating public life. Their bond demonstrates that even amid fame, rigorous schedules, and global scrutiny, thoughtful gestures, attention, and empathy remain foundational. Andre's act was not a one-time event but a reflection of ongoing commitment. In celebrating milestones, supporting setbacks. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.